Stop everything, stop holding your fists, put your hands down, Michael. Let's all just calm down, shall we?
Let me get comfortable. This one's gonna be controversial. So, don't think God hates gay people as much as you think. And I'm gonna prove it to you. But before that, I'm just gonna need everyone to agree to stay calm. Okay, so let's set the stage.
That's such a funny thing to say.
Yes, I know, I'm so funny. It's like I was chosen for this topic because 1, I'm an African. 2, I'm a pretty smart guy. I'm not Einstein, but I think I've got a pretty friend grip on all of this. 3, I'm a Christian. Oh, shock, I know who I've ever guessed. That's 3 over 4 of the required boxing. I'm doing pretty well. Sometime last year, the internet world seemed to be having fun again. Kendrick and Drake were feuding. Cinema was back, baby. And I could be that 365 party girl bumping that from the ceiling to the floor of my living room. Why couldn't I leave the house, you ask? Because everything is freaking expensive. We're all victims to the global inflation effect. But I think it's safe to say that some places were hit harder than some others. And in 2024, all that began to change for the first time. The graphs were green again, guys. In my past 10 years of life, the graphs have never been green. It's almost like the world was healed. Like, Ghana was like...
Oh, what the f***?
So yeah, I didn't understand the intricacies of this whole bill. I'm not a lawyer. I barely understand the freaking newsletters I read. But if you're like me and you read a statement like this, when the economy is looking like this, I think you're allowed to be scared. Imagine my shock when I found out that this whole thing was about gay rights. Not gay marriage rights, just gay rights in general. I think that's a good point in the video to let you all know that homosexuality in Ghana, like over 50% of African countries, is already illegal. This bill isn't supposed to now make homosexuality illegal. It's just supposed to make the punishment become worse. Like, you can have your own opinions on this. I'm sure I saw A sharing mine because Christian YouTube is insane and Ghanaians are even crazier. I don't want any more death threats. As of filming this video, the bill hasn't been passed yet, so it's not to be different either. If this bill becomes law, it will cost us at least $3.8 billion. B with the B. How many CDs is that even? 40 billion Ghana cedis. Holy, I didn't even think it was that crazy. I'm gonna put a screenshot of all that the bill entails on the screen, but I'm just gonna highlight a few of the main points that people mostly talk about. So first, up to 3 years imprisonment in jail for same-sex intercourse. 6 to 10 years of imprisonment for anyone that produces, distributes material that is deemed to be promoting LGBTQ activities, and a requirement for citizens and institutions to promote and protect proper human sexual rights and Ghanaian family values. Guys, I'm gonna reiterate that homosexuality is already illegal in Ghana. These laws are literally just making the punishments harsher than they already are. The first logical question that comes to anyone's heads is why? Like, Ghana is very homophobic already. I'll Google the stories. People like corner and kill people just for suspecting that they are gay. Like, it's crazy. The harshest punishment isn't even against homosexuals. The harshest punishment is against potential journalists. That's 10 years in prison for any statement that could be portrayed as LGBTQ affirming. 10 years, and we decide whether a media piece is affirming or not. Oh, the guys who put the bill into play.
He told the journalists on Joy FM that if this bill had been in effect, they would have been prosecuted.
Because you spent the last 10 minutes aiding the advocacy of a criminal act in Ghana.
And he was even questioned about it. He later had an interview with an American reporter.
Sponsoring a bill on the promotion of proper Ghanaian family values and human sexual rights.
And this was what he said in the first of those comments.
If you were doing a piece, for example, that seeks to push into the Ghanaian media space that it is an acceptable way of life for people to have sex in an unnatural manner, that will be you producing promotional material. But if you were doing...
Mr. George, I listened to you giving an interview on June 7th where a journalist had just had an LGBT activist on the air. You said to that journalist, if this bill was in effect, then you would be prosecuted. So that wasn't promotion of LGBTQ issues. That was just a journalist doing their job.
Yes, I made those comments because in that interview, they went ahead and asked the gentleman what Gay Pride Month is all about.
Like, this is so insane, guys. If they deemed this video as affirming, I could go to jail for 10 years if the bill was in place. That's how crazy this all is. The fight is insane, like smear campaigns from one side to another. Honestly, it's so messy. I don't want to focus on all that. Let's just set something straight. In passing this bill, does the government in any way actually have a point?
No, they don't.
A secular states But what's a secular state, Mr. Pa?
I'll let you know a secular state is my young, humble, patient students. So basically,
When a state is religious, they use religious teachings and doctrine to guide laws and their government decisions and all that. So let's say that it's legal in a religion for you to drink, then the state can use that religious reason for it being legal to make it illegal in the state for it to drink. But in a secular state where freedom of religion is exercised, religion and government are supposed to be kept separate. Using these definitions, it's very easy to say that Ghana is under a bit of an identity crisis. But the major reason that people give in support of this bill is they try to argue that homosexuality is a sin, which we'll get to that, don't worry. But guys, whether or not it's a sin shouldn't matter because the country is a secular country. And the official, they know this. See how they answer these interviews. They're always careful to give the reasoning of good and proper human sexual rights and proper Ghanaian family values. And guys, not to burst your bubble, until a few years ago, all of these things, they were good and proper Ghanaian family values. For real, FGM. Don't Google that, guys, you will be scarred. Just because something was considered good and traditional values back then doesn't mean it's a good one now. Using that logic, sexists could easily argue that, I don't know, women shouldn't vote because back then, women not voting was a good and traditional value. Like, if that's your main argument, it's not a good one. If your ancient tradition fundamentally is against the human rights of the people in your country, then maybe you should stop that tradition. So marriage is an agreement between one man and one woman that's actually nowhere to be found in the Bible. The traditional definition that we've all heard a million times by deacons and pastors and whatever actually doesn't come word for word from the Bible. Before we continue, I just want us to remember that we all agree to be very nice, right? Look at the smile, look at this. Let's be nice, please. I'd really appreciate it if you could, put that away. Yeah, great things. A lot of the things I've said in this video are made controversial. If that bill was in place and there was just someone influential who really didn't like me, they could actually use the things I said there, even though they weren't affirming, they could use it as an argument to get rid of me. But even knowing that, that's not a section I'm most scared of to make for this video. It's this one. There's a group that I've been more scared to confront. Christian YouTube. So the individuals who leave comments on Christian YouTube range from being very nice and very polite to being freaking psychopaths. On my last Christian video, I kid you not, I received death threats. That video has like 500 views and I received death threats. Like, Christian YouTubers insane, oh my god. You know this man, Sufia Stevens? He is a Christian, he is an African but he's a very smart guy. One of the last official statements we ever got from him, the Bible is very gay, which I'm not gonna go that far, but I do want to analyze the arguments for the bill. It's coming from a Christian perspective. So let's take this step by step. First, the argument that traditional marriage was always between one man and one woman is just wrong. In the Bible, King David, a man after God's own heart, 18 wives. And Solomon, the smart man. Let me give you a chance. Why don't you guess? 50, 6,700 wives. Traditional marriage has never ever been defined as between one man and one woman until recently. And if anything, that doesn't make it traditional. That makes it us rewriting history. And for those who say that God frowned upon David's marriages, Second of all, the idea that traditional marriage is only between one man and one woman implies that everybody is either a man or a woman, which simply isn't true. There is a significant portion of the human population that has always been intersex. Intersex people are chromosomally XXY or XYY, or they have some other conditions that make them neither unambiguously male or female. They are born this way by Lady Gaga. And intersex people have been getting married since the dawn of time, but laws like the one that they are proposing to pass now make it unclear whether intersex people are allowed to marry anyone. If you want to be a Christian state and his ass your cover, like, sure, go for it, but grease your elbows. I'm not saying that that's right or wrong. I'm just saying that you would be allowed to. But girl, please listen up. I don't want to be the one to remind you that you are a secular state, right? But preventing intersex people from getting married isn't an expression of religious freedom. It's an expression of religious oppression, because you can't affirm to be a secular state and then prevent people who were born a certain way from, living that way. They didn't choose to be intersex. Then as a secular state, there isn't much difference between you saying people can't get married in your country and, saying women can't have jobs in your country. my family, my homeboys, my day ones. I'm already gonna get cancelled for this video, so I might as well double down. But to a lot of Christians, marriage isn't just a legal agreement, it's a covenant. You're making a promise to God that you stick together for life. And to many of us, marriage is only real when that marriage covenant is involved. So if you don't think homosexuality is a sin, and you have every right to believe that, then that's not a problem at all. But if you do think homosexuality is a sin, again, you have every right to believe that, then homosexual marriages are inherently sinful, which means that God cannot be present in them and bless that union. But if you're going to say that the legal benefits and responsibilities of marriage should only be extended to those who have that covenant with God, then we get into a really big problem. Because once again, Ghana is a secular state. A lot of the people getting married in Ghana, they are Christian, trust me, I know. So does that mean that they are no longer allowed to share custody of kids? Or they are no longer to, like, I don't know, file taxes together for visit each other in the hospital when one of them falls sick? Or should those privileges only extend to people who get married in a church like my pastor? And even then, do all the church weddings count? Like, isn't a church weddings in my denomination or church weddings everywhere? Because then you have some very heretical groups that claim to be churches. Do those marriages count? Guys, just to clarify, I can't find a single logical reason why secular gay marriage shouldn't be legal in the secular state of secular Ghana. Like, if you're a Christian activist fighting against this bill, rather than fighting for Ghana to become a Christian state, chances are you're fighting the wrong fight. If homosexuality is a sin, as a Christian, you shouldn't want your secular state ban homosexuality. You should want your secular state to become a Christian state. And how do you do that? I don't know. By being a good Christian. Actually, this video is going to get me so. Evangelize, live a good life, treat people nicely, do the things that Jesus actually taught us to do. Because if people see you and they see Christ in you, they might actually, want to become Christian. And you may say this is all just me being dramatic about the money. No freaking shit. Because the economy is hard, and before we make any drastic decisions that could make it worse, I think we should take our time and understand the true intentions behind it. But yeah, I don't think God hates gay people as much as you do, because I know that the God in the Bible, he loves every gay person as much as he loves you. And that's true whether or not you think homosexuality is a sin. Even if you believe being gay is a sin, it's not something that you should want someone to suffer half a decade in jail while actual daylight criminals run free. Some of you would rather your friends were straight atheists than gay Christians. And at that point, I think you've lost the plot and your priorities as a Christian just aren't in line. Before I end, I want to point out a verse. How about not anyway be when you hear your Christian friends from the 1,000th time talking about how being gay is wrong? I just want you to understand where they're coming from. A lot of them may be misguided in their methods or in their attempts. If they are a Christian who genuinely believes that being gay is wrong and it's a sin, I just want you to know that they are coming to you from a place of love and understanding and all that. Even though you may not agree with them or accept them, I just want you to understand them, because like sin is way more important to God than it is to us. And the punishment for sin is like legit hell. Like, there's no two ways about it. But for my Christian friends who believe that homosexuality is a sin, in all your endeavors, I need you to remember that you're not helping someone in sin by wishing them dead or wishing them to be in jail, because then we all deserve that punishment. We all deserve to be in jail because we all sin. But rather, you should be eager to wanting them to live in the life that leads them to Jesus Christ. The arguments I've made in this video aren't solid. They aren't the best for either side. But the fact that some of you can't disprove those arguments, yet you're so firmly aligning on one side or the other, speaks a lot to the, lack of loving your neighbor that we're portraying. What's Africa's gay problem? That they hate gay people more than God does. I don't have much else to say. Like the video if you like me. Dislike if you dislike me. I don't know if it helps my engagement to be so if you have very angry face to say, leave them in the comments. I will definitely read them. Like I said, my arguments are strong enough actually. So if you have something important to add, actually do leave a comment. And let's have a special code. That's just between you and me. A special code is French fries. So if you say French fries, I'll know what is all the way to the end, and I can have just have French fries somewhere in your comments, and I'll know that you're being serious. But yeah, don't cancel me. Okay, bye bye.